Welcome, everybody. How are you guys all doing? How are you guys and girls doing today? Please let me know if you guys can all hear me by typing something into the chat box. So we're going to get started here and rocking and rolling in just a couple minutes. Excited to have you all here. Again, please type in the chat box if you can hear me and where you are calling from. Hey guys, girls, can you hear me? Yes, there we go. Kier, hey, what's going on? Can you hear me? Type yes in the chat box if you can hear me. Awesome, Michael, Roger, awesome. Excellent. Fantastic. So I appreciate you guys all being here on Friday. I'm excited to have you all here and welcome to the Local Business Rockstar Academy. So let's go ahead and rock and roll. If you guys have any questions throughout this process, please type them in the chat box. I do want to give you a couple quick housekeeping notes or items. Is that this is being run through Google Hangouts, which is live video streaming and eats up a lot of bandwidth on your computers. So I'm going to do everything I can to try to make sure you have the best experience possible, right? But we always can have technical issues. So I'm going to ask that you please close down any other like applications like Skype. I'd ask that you pause your Dropbox syncing. Anything that's going to create additional resources away from your event so you can have a crystal clear picture. Throughout this process, we are going to be inviting you to participate live inside of the sessions. So here's what you guys can do is we'll probably let a couple of you guys come inside maybe today and share your story. So if you can go ahead and just, I'm going to call you out when I want to kind of have you guys introduce yourselves because I want a chance for everyone to get to know each other. But right now, I want to go ahead and get started. All right. So if any of you guys know me, I hope that you do. And if you don't, I'm excited to have you here. I like to have fun, right? I like to keep things entertaining and engaging. I'm a big believer in that. So my goal is to hopefully help you to have an awesome, fun experience throughout this process. So welcome again to the Local Business Rockstar Academy. I am going to be your host and guide during this process. Again, Eric, E-Rock, Christopher, you can call me whatever you like. My friends just have affectionately given me the nickname of E-Rock. So you can call me whatever you're more comfortable with during our journey together. So who here is ready to become a local SEO rock star, right? So my brand is Local Business Rockstar, not because I think I'm super special. In fact, the only instrument I play is the radio, right? I'd love to be a rock star in real life, right? Who wouldn't, right? But my intention is to help our clients become the local business rock star. So if you would like to be a local business rock star or help your clients to become local business rock stars, type yes in the chat box. And I apologize, I got a little bit of a cough today. But better yet, right? Who doesn't want it? It's not about being a local SEO rock star, but a local business rock star, right? I hope all of you guys here aren't just only doing SEO. Hope you guys are doing some other marketing channels as well. Excuse me. All right. So, yeah, Daryl is in. So are you ready to see something extraordinarily powerful? Type yes. I want to see something. And guys, please do me a favor. Please, please engage me in the chat box, right? We're going to evolve this into where you guys are going to be inside the hangout sessions. I definitely want you guys to be a part of this process, right? So please engage in the chat box so that, number one, I know you can hear me and that we have a higher level of engagement. So Kier, Brett, yeah, let's rock. I dig it, right? I feed off your guys' energy. So let me go ahead and invite, let's see, Daryl, cool. Brett Stave, awesome. All right, so let's rock. You guys ready to see something extraordinarily powerful? Kabam! Look in your mirror. It's you, right? Now, I want to take a minute, guys, to make sure that I help you to have the best experience possible. But there's going to be a mix of people who are going to be not only taking this course as live members, but there's also, this is going to become the product that I'm going to take on a world tour in 2016. And so this isn't just for you guys today, but it's also for the world at large later. And I want to make sure that everyone who's watching this, regardless of your level of experience, is that you can look in the mirror and look at yourself and say to yourself, I am powerful, right? I am extraordinarily powerful, and that we can manifest change and make the world a better place, right? We can always improve our environment. And that's my goal here with you today, is just to hopefully help you to facilitate that. So I want to personally thank you because you chose to invest in yourself. I can't stress that what a valuable asset that is to continue to always invest in yourself. So it's my honor to be your Rockstar guide during your journey, and we're here to empower you to succeed. I am so committed to ensuring each and every one of the students that participate in this process end up having Rockstar results. I truly mean that with all my heart. So, are you serious and ready to get rocking? Great. Here's step one. Grab a pen and paper, please. And we're going to do step one together. Joshua. Nice to have you here, Joshua. So I want you to set your intention for this program, right? Whether, regardless if you're attending this live or you're watching this as a part of the local Business Rockstar Academy program, I want you to create a crystal clear intention of what you want to get out of this process, right? My intention is to help you to generate a six-figure 100K year in your agency or in your business. If you're a small business owner or an agency in 2016, I want you to generate a six-figure income minimum. And if you already generate six figures or maybe even seven figures in your business, that just as a result of this training alone, it generates an extra six figures for you as well. That's my intention. So please take a moment, set your intention, and please write it down, because I'm going to ask that you send that to me and submit that to us so we can help you accomplish your intention and achieve your goals. So take a moment and ask yourself, what do you really want? But more importantly, why do you want it? Most people talk about, I want more success. I want more money, right? I want more freedom. And that's great. But when things get tough, what's going to inspire you and drive you to succeed? What's going to need to happen for that to take place, right? What's going to get you up early in the morning and stay up late at night, right? So my why is to create significance. It's great for me to be able to generate success in my life, and I'm grateful for every ounce of it. But my mission is to go out and create significance, which means empowering other people to achieve their success, right? And what's my reason why? It's my family and my children, and so that they can have the freedom to do the things that they love and enjoy. So write it down, because we're going to ask you to submit that to us so we can document it, and we know that you're as committed to this process as I am going to be committed to you. So my next question is, what are you willing to leave behind to make space for your new intention? Because everything that you've learned and everything that you know today has gotten to where you are, and everything you're going to be doing tomorrow and the day after is going to acquire you to have new knowledge, new information, or new action that's going to allow you to take your whole life and business to the next level. And in order to do that, we only have 24 hours in a day, our most powerful, precious asset. So I value your time here. And I hope that if you're advanced and maybe you're familiar with some of this personal development process, that you will have the patience to understand that I'm going to teach you guys some amazing stuff, but I can give a gun to somebody and that can be used for good and it can be used for evil, right? I give you guys a lightsaber. I can give you the Force and you can be Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader. Hoorah to Star Wars, right? So ask yourself, who are you or what are you willing to leave behind to make space and make the time in your new intention? So again, my vision is to make this training different than anything else that you guys have experienced. And I have to give you guys a warning. I'm hoping to blow your minds, and I'm literally hoping that I can blow your minds every single week during this process. I really pride myself on finding not only just innovative ways to be successful with local search and local marketing, but also proven, effective strategies and tactics. So you may need to sign a liability waiver. I know you guys, if you're watching this live, all sign a non-disclosure agreement to participate in this process, but we may decide to have you sign a liability waiver. Why? So your family can't take legal action against me later when you're drooling all over the place like this guy. Right? That's really, like, in a way, the face that I want each and every one of you to have, hopefully on every session. Right now, we've got some beginners all the way to probably some like SEO legends like Keith Baxter and some amazing trainers that are going to be a part of this whole process. But literally, when we ran our initial program with a small group of students, I can honestly tell you that every week, one of the poll questions we asked once the training was rocking and rolling, did you see something you'd never seen before? And we had folks that were brand new people to people who'd run SEO companies and sold them for like years. And every week we're able to drop some great content. So I'm hoping to get you guys drooling every single week, right? So hopefully it kind of laid out a little bit of the expectations. We'll come back to that, right? But I'm going to get off my little philosophical soapbox. So who wants to learn how to quickly get a new client to provide you with a scholarship to fund your academy? Type yes scholarship or yes scholar in the chat box if you would like to be able to get a new client and have them pay for this program for you. So I'm going to take a quick second here and wait for you guys to chap in and engage me, because if you don't, I will stop. Awesome. All right, cool. So let's go in and rock this out. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second. And we are going to show you a process. Now, what I'm about to show you, ladies and gentlemen, is the exact, well, I should say exact. I'm going to give you different modalities to implement what I'm about to teach you, because everybody's got different learning curves, and some people are going to have more comfort zones than others. Okay. So what I am going to ask of you is that that you utilize this system and this is completely customizable to some extent. This is going to be a template, right? But this is the exact same system that I used for our case study client. So I'm not going to, what I'm about to ask you to do as the first step in this process, I'm never going to ask you guys to do anything that I haven't done before, or I know other people that I know that have gotten great success and great results. I'm not going to teach you guys anything in theory. I'm going to teach you guys stuff that works, right? So I want you guys to trust in the process, even if you don't always understand it, right? So let's go back and share the screen. All right. So I use this system, right? And I'll get into more of my story here in a little while about my background and my experience. So that I feel it's important that you guys know me on a little bit better level so you know why I'm here, how I got to be here. But I want to keep this focused on you as much as you can, right? So now I'm excellent at verbal communication. I've spent years, attended so many conferences, and spent thousands of dollars to develop my communication skills. So, what I'm showing you here is an email because I know a lot of you who are going to be watching this, not just live, but as a part of this whole local business rockstar academy program. Some of you are going to be afraid to talk to people, and I don't get that. And I hope that in future training sessions we can help you to become better verbal communicators. Okay. But my preference is if you're going to use this tactic, that you're going to use this to verbally communicate, to pick up the phone, call somebody, because it's much more personal and it works far much better. Okay. So my first question is who do you know that's a small business owner, right? And if you're watching this, right, if you're watching this live, because remember, guys, if you're here live, this isn't just solely for you. All this content is going to become a part of the local Business Rockstar Academy in 2016. So, who has friends, connections, or friends of your own that have friends of theirs that are entrepreneurs or small business owners, right? And right now is a great time because it's Q4, it's the end of the year. Things are slowing down a little bit. I mean, they're kind of, they're in terms of like business, people are starting to relax and they start thinking about what's going to happen next year. So this is a script that I'm giving you guys right out of the gate to go implement. And again, it works far better if you have phone skills, just have a nice, normal, friendly conversation. Okay. However, this, if you're not comfortable with it, then you can use emails, but I don't think it will be as effective, but it will still work. Right. So this is an email or a script that you can use to a known contact, someone who already knows a business, right? So, and actually, you know what? Let's do this. Well, I'm going to bring somebody on. Who would like to volunteer? The first person that requests access live to this event, if you hover over the chat box, there's you should see the request to speak button. First one who hits it right now, I'm going to bring in to the room live, and we'll do a little bit of a verbal role play. Again, guys, I'm all about taking action. I wasn't even planning on doing this, but I just think it warrants it, right? So in the chat box in the upper right, if you're watching this live, it should be a request access. First one to hit is going to get in. And you'll need to be using Google Hangouts. I want to make sure to clarify that. All right, Kier, I see you. So I am going to get your email address. And Kier, I am going to invite you to come inside. It pays to be first, pays to engage, right? So while Kier's coming in, right, I'm going to go through this script with you, and then we're going to come back and role play it live so that we're on the phone. So here's the email script that you can use. I would highly encourage you to do this on a custom person-by-person basis and not just blast this out autoresponder style, unless you can hide the fact that you're blasting it out as an autoresponder or as an email broadcast. This is best used on a person-to-person basis, okay? So, hey, first name, hope you're having a wonderful Christmas holiday, right? So anything that might be relevant to your friendship, your contact, please enter that in there, right? So hope you're having a wonderful holiday season. I wanted to ask you a quick question and see if you can give me some guidance. As you know, I've been running my local marketing business and believe in the power of mentoring and coaching. Now, I want to stress some things here in this script, guys, is that if you know that you can leverage and position yourself better Like I've been running my local marketing business for 5 years, or I've been helping small businesses get front page rankings for 10 years, right? Whatever that might be. All right. So Kier should be coming in here in a little bit, right? But if you can customize this, again, this is a template, right? Use your existing knowledge, use your existing confidence and experience to change this and make edits as you see fit, right? So I've been running my local marketing business, local business Rockstar for 10 years. But I really believe in the power of mentorship and coaching. Even Tiger Woods is a coach, right? So I've retained the services of a private marketing coach who has successfully trained and coached thousands of entrepreneurs over the past decade. And that is a totally true fact about me. However, he's thrown a big challenge at me already. In order for him to work with me, I'm required to find a new case study client. He's going to make sure that everything he teaches gets implemented and applied to this case study client. I have to document this process during the coaching and present my work to him on our regular meetings. In essence, for him to continue to mentor me, I'm going to need to apply everything he knows to this case study client and ensure that he helps me to create some fantastic results. Of course, it benefits me as I'll be able to showcase this client to all of our other clients and future prospects as well. So here's my quick question. I know that you like helping people. Now, I'm going to take a quick pause here, and I want you to type into the chat box what you think my quick question is going to be. Right? So you're watching this live, right? If you're watching this in the training and you go visit our private Google group or our private Facebook page, right? I want you to take a note of this. Like, what do you think I'm going to ask? And I want you to be honest and post it and share and right now in the chat box and share with me what you think I'm about to ask. All right. So everybody's saying it's a little bit blurry. So let's do this. And I believe we can just make this all bigger. All right. That should be much better. I can see it on my screen, and it's going to be much better. All right. So Michael is saying, can you help me? Would you mind helping me out? Brett, thanks for saying that it's much better. I appreciate that helpful feedback. Maria's saying, I'm too shy for that, right? Brett's got no mic right now. No worries, right? And hey, guys, I'll get you this script here shortly. Awesome. Hey, how you doing? Kim LaRock is here joining us, one of our awesome rock stars, and she was one of our beta participants in this whole Rockstar Academy process. So say hi to everyone, Kim.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. All right. I'm just still trying to get myself into the room properly. Awesome. So hello, everyone. Nice to meet you all.
So I'm going to throw you under the bus here because we're looking for someone to do some live role playing, right? So to catch you up to speed, right, we're going over a case study client acquisition script. So going back, right, what do you think we're going to ask, right? Michael is saying, can you help me? Maria is saying, would you mind helping me out, right? So I promise you, when you're, whether you're doing this via email or on the phone, they are absolutely going to think exactly what you just thought. Okay. So sorry after making it bigger. And guys, you guys will all get this, right? This is going to go out to you guys right away. And if you're in the membership area, right? So here's my quick question. I know that you like helping people, right? Because who's going to say no? I don't like helping people. I was wondering if you can introduce me to just one of your colleagues or friends who owns a business and really wants to grow their business in 2016. I mean, like Rockstar growth, right? So who do you know in the lawyer niche? Who do you know in the cosmetic surgery industry? Who do you know that's a chiropractor? You have to be very specific about this, right? So it's like, hey, can you refer me a friend from, you know, who do you know that likes to buy flowers, right? Maybe you can think of someone off the top of your head, but hey, can you think of any good looking females that are age 25 to 35 years old that care about their looks, right? Who would like those flowers, right? So the more specific you are, the better. Okay. Any introductions or referrals that you send to me are greatly appreciated. Okay. So all of a sudden you're thinking, this person's got to be thinking, right? You're going to ask me and hit me up, right? And all of a sudden you just took it away from them. Like now they're going to be almost feeling slighted. Like, well, why not me? Right. And I'm transparent, right? Of course, there's going to be a cost to participate, but it will be a fraction of the new revenue and ROI that will come as a result of this process. And it's going to be significantly discounted as I'm only looking to cover my costs, as I'm really doing this to satisfy my coach's requirements. However, please let any of your contacts know that I'm only doing this for one business right now. So we're introducing scarcity, right, gang? So we can focus all of our efforts on their success during this training. I can't afford to do this for everyone, right? So who do you know in the relevant niche? Thanks so much, John. If you have any questions, just reply, okay? P.S. I'm sending this out to just a few of my business contacts right now. Further scarcity, right? And you're saying I'm only sending it out to a few right now, so there's a good chance that one of your friends can take advantage of this opportunity. All right, now guys, tell me in the chat box what you think about what I just showed you right now. Now, I didn't do this as an email. I did this in a telephone conversation, and I did it with somebody that I'm fairly good friends with, right? And I went through it and I said, hey, who do you know that's in your industry that you could refer to me? And can you guess what that person said? They said, well, me, I need some help growing my business in 2016. Oh, really? You know, I mean, we're friends, you know, I didn't call because I didn't want to really, you know, and I really did. Like it was an authentic call. Like I really wanted to see if he could refer me to somebody. Right? So I can tell you guys, this works so unbelievably well. And here's the cool part is if they're not interested, right, then they're going to hopefully really try to refer you to somebody because they don't want you coming back to them, right? So even if you don't necessarily land a new client right away, this should generate some referral leads for you, right? And that's another opportunity to do this, right? Now, some of you are going to be like, well, okay, this is great, right? They say, you know, hey, yeah, I'm interested. I have some questions. Yeah, you're going to have to get on the phone. You're going to have to explain a little bit that, hey, I'm a part of this coaching program, right? I've invested some very significant dollars to participate in this training. And in order for me to complete the training process, I have got to execute everything that I'm learning throughout this process. So that means that you're going to make tons and tons of money. Right? So this is where you would say, hey, you know, normally I would charge, let's just say as an example, hypothetical example, you sell your services at the price point you need to sell them at, right? So if you're not comfortable charging $5,000 for services, then don't. If you're comfortable charging services for $500 a month, right? You can do that. It's totally up to you, right? So now I'm going to do the telephone conversation. Okay. So I'm going to kind of run through this script again and role play with Kim, right? And then I'm going to hit this script again. And then the second part of that role play will help you to identify how to communicate with them if you were using the email and you got them on a follow-up phone call. Okay. So, Kim, I pick up the phone, or I send Kim an email and say, hey, Kim, I have a quick question that it's really important. I need to chat on the phone. We get on the phone. Hey, Kim, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Hey, good. I know you're super busy, so I'll just take a quick second. I just wanted to run a quick question by you, okay?
Okay.
Cool. Well, anyway, I hope you're are you ready for the holiday season, all that good stuff?
Well, it's a busy time of year. I'm almost ready.
Well, cool. Well, again, I wanted to ask you a quick question and just see if maybe you could give me some guidance. Now, quick break. How flattering is it for me to ask someone else for guidance? Right? Doesn't that give Kim kind of like a feeling of like, oh, that makes her feel good, right? So cut back into the role play, right? So, hey, Kim, I was hoping you could give me some guidance on something.
Okay, sure.
Well, as you know, I've been running my local business Rockstar now for years, and I'm a big believer in the power of mentorship. And you probably know that like Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, they have coaches, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, I've actually just retained the services of a private marketing coach, and they've successfully trained thousands of entrepreneurs over the past decade. But the problem is he's thrown a really big challenge at me already. In order for him to work with me, Kim, I'm required to find a new case study client. So that means he's going to make sure that everything he's going to be teaching me gets implemented and applied to this case study client. And I'm going to have to document the process during this coaching and present my work to him on our regular meetings. So basically, in essence, for him to continue to mentor me, I'm going to need to apply everything he knows to this case study client and ensure that he helps me to create some really fantastic results. Now, Kim, of course, it's going to benefit me, right? I mean, as I'll be able to showcase this client to all of our other clients and future prospects as well. So here's my quick question. Kim, I know that you like helping people, right?
Of course.
Cool. Well, I was wondering if you might be able to introduce me to just one of your colleagues or friends who owns a business and really wants to grow their business in 2016. I mean, like Rockstar growth. Like, so who do you know that is also a fellow lawyer? Who do you know in the lawyer league? Like, what about bankruptcy? Do you like know any good bankruptcy lawyers?
I might know of a couple in my network. I mean, I'm not really close with those individuals. I'd almost feel kind of awkward. I mean, what do you want me to do?
I just want an introduction. Like maybe you could just, if you could, I'll give me their email address and just CC them and say, hey, I have a friend that has an interesting opportunity, and I'll put it all together in a quick email for you, right? So all I'd want you to do is send an email introduction, CCS, make the connection, and I'm probably just going to send them an email similar to what I just shared with you.
I see. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think that's definitely an opportunity that I could see some people, being really interested in. I might know of a few people. What if I'm interested in this myself?
Oh, really? Well, that's cool. I didn't know if you'd be interested. I mean, I thought you were doing really, really well with business.
Yeah, sure. But you can always do better, right? And I'm kind of interested, but would wonder what's involved and what it would mean, what I would have to do on my part.
Cool. Okay. Well, I mean, as far as your part's concerned, is just basically, I would basically do everything that I'm going to be learning in this program over the coming months and basically implementing that for your business, whether it was like search engine work, ranking, social media, some reputation stuff. And you're probably worried that it's going to cost a lot of money, and Kim, to be transparent, of course, there's going to be a cost to participate. But I promise you it's a fraction of any new revenue and ROI that'll come as a result of the process. And the cool part is it's going to be significantly discounted, as I'm only looking to really cover my costs. Because I'm only really doing this to satisfy my coach's requirements. Right. So really, I'm only going to be doing this with one business because we really want to focus all of our efforts on this training. And of course, I can't afford to do this for everyone. Right.
Right. Okay.
All right. So this is probably going to be something that, like, if I was to come to you and say, we're going to do all this work for you, right, we'd probably charge you somewhere in the neighborhood of $3,000 to $5,000 a month. Right. Like this guy charges big bucks, right, for his clients. But again, because we're friends, and this is why I was maybe thinking you would refer me to someone, because maybe they'd pay more. But since we're friends, I'll give you like a smoking deal. Right. So rather than paying like the $3,000 to $5,000, what if we did something for like $997 a month for like the next 3 or 4 months?
That's very reasonable.
Yeah. I mean, like, as an attorney, right? I mean, what do you get off one good client?
Right. Well, that's for me to know, right?
Well, I know your industry. I've done a little bit of research, Kim.
Yeah, well, it depends. It really does depend on the client, but I know what you're saying. Yes.
Sure. But if we got you like maybe, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 new clients every month, and just like conservatively, like I would hope that would offset the cost and you make some money on as well.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'd be really impressed if you could do that for me.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm flattered. I appreciate the opportunity. So let's do this. I didn't really plan on having the time to go into all the details right now. What's your calendar look like that we can connect and discuss this in more detail, and we can exchange some emails or some dialogue about what the next steps are?
Okay. Yeah, I can make some time available. Maybe next week.
Fantastic. So let's get it scheduled. Let's do next Tuesday at 10 o'clock. Sound good?
Perfect.
Awesome. I'll set up a calendar, get everything started. If you have any questions in the meantime, Kim, don't hesitate to ask. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Thanks so much. All right. End of role play. All right, guys. Type in the chat box what your thoughts are on that. Give me your honest to goodness feedback. Right now, again, I did this very telephone conversation. When you guys see our case study client, right, this is the exact conversation that I basically had, with more personalization because of our friendship, right? And we were not like buddies either, right? Like we know each other from conferences and things like that and have established a relationship for a while. But if have been in business in any period of time whatsoever, you should know some other entrepreneurs that could benefit from your services. Now, depending on your financial situation, your circumstances, could you say, hey, Cam, this is normally going to cost $1,000, but I'm going to do it for you as a friend for $500, right? You're undercharging them, but if you're just getting started and you don't have 100% confidence in doing this, then charge accordingly, right? Because I'm about to share my story with you, and then I'm going to come back with some other variations on you in case that you don't know people that you can do this with. Now, I promise you do. Some of you might be complaining, I don't know anybody. Well, we'll have another conversation about that because everybody knows somebody, right? And if you don't, go to a networking meeting and meet someone new. Okay, so I'm going to keep moving forward here on the PowerPoint. Yeah, Brett says, solid way to approach a friend or acquaintance without being obtrusive. Absolutely. Maria, what happens if we don't know anyone to do this with? I promise you do. Okay. And even if it's not like a good friend, I want you to ask yourself, who's your dentist? I want you to ask yourself, when you need car repairs, where do you go to get your car repaired? Right? Type in the chat box, guys, if you can think of other places that small business owners. Kim, what about you?
Well, right. I mean, I know that you and I had this conversation when we were talking about this idea a few weeks ago, and you had, because I don't have like a database of clients to call up, but I would like to test this out. And you had suggested to me to run a Facebook ad. And maybe it's not going to be that exact same conversation, but it would be adapted to that, right? And kind of doing a call out, maybe targeting just local based business owners where I am, and doing my ad copy around that kind of like attention, looking for, case studies or, just playing around with some wording around that. And then seeing if I can generate some business and having this conversation with some of the leads I would generate.
Cool. So guess what? More is coming, right? This is just the next interlude, right? Because I really think you guys I think you guys need to hear some of my story, and I will try to make this as fast as I can, right? But if you're going to trust in me to help lead you to higher level of success, and some of you may even have different levels of higher success than where I am, and that's why some of you are on here. Some of the people that are on here are going to be during this process. Like one of the live members has 500 clients. I don't even want 500 clients, right? I have a different long-term strategy for what I want, but let me share my story, right? I've been a successful entrepreneur and I failed for over 15 years, right? My first business was as a brick and mortar business owner, as a strength coach. I actually helped train people all the way from grandmas all the way through the spectrum to elite athletes, like gold medalists, professional athletes. I almost got Donovan McNabb to come to my college graduation party, but he canceled at the last minute. Right. So I had some initial success in the brick and mortar business as a strength coach. But the way I got that business started is I got a job, and then I opened up my business and I took all my clients from the job with me, and I lived off word of mouth for the next probably 4 years. Right. But then one day my churn rate exceeded my acquisition rate of new clients. And back then I didn't even know what that stuff was. Right. But basically my referral stream started slowing down. And so what happened was I started to realize that if I'm going to stay in business, I'm going to need to start acquiring more clients other than word of mouth referrals. And so I had a client who referred me. I was like, I said, hey, do you know anybody that can help me with some advertising? She said, yep, I have a friend who's got experience with an advertising firm. She's wanting to lose some weight. We worked out this deal. We created a brand new logo, built a brand. It was called Physical Evolution, right? Created t-shirts, right? Did all this cool stuff. And 1 second, gang. So what happened was, there's my family I'm going to hit here in a second, right? So what happened is I ran some direct mail ads, right? I published an advertisement based on her recommendations, all the copy, all the demographically targeted stuff that we were looking to do. And so I ran that ad for 13 weeks within like a 10-mile radius of my business, right? With professional help. Guess how many phone calls that advertisement over the course of 13 weeks it generated? I want you to type your guess in the chat box. $50. Maria guesses 50. Brett says 130. Michael says 50. Come on, who's going to guess right? Kira says 100. The answer is 0. Yes, it was a complete failure. And at that instant, I instantly realized my business was dying. And I didn't know, well, I didn't have the tools or the knowledge and the preparation to save my own business. Yes, Daryl, 0. Daryl's the winner, right? So I didn't even get a phone call. I was so frustrated. I was like, did they print the wrong phone number, right? I couldn't believe it. So I was frustrated, right? So my business started dying and I didn't know how to resuscitate it. And so I had made that decision that, you know what, I'm going to have to learn marketing. So I actually chose, I picked up a part-time job to offset my business income loss. And during that job, I met a doctor who owned her own medical practice that was living in like a $3 million home. And she shared with me an opportunity in the network marketing industry. And I was excited about that opportunity because one, I knew I could network with a really successful doctor, right? And two, here was a business model that would allow me to not have to worry about any fulfillment. All I had to do was learn marketing, right? And that's where my real journey to today began, because in a year's time, we turned that into a full-time income. I shut down my brick and mortar business because we had a little one coming along the way, our elder child, and I wanted to always be able to work from home. So I shut down my strength training practice, entered into the network marketing industry on a full-time basis, and I'm very proud to say that we were probably in the top 1% of income earners in all of network marketing anywhere, right? We weren't the richest, right? But we were able to generate hundreds of thousands of dollars over the course of half a decade, right? Very, very blessed. And so what happened was I did this all completely offline. I built up an organization of thousands of people completely through word of mouth for like the first 3 or 4 years. Then we started getting into the online arena and started messing around with the arena stuff. And the network marketing company I was a part of has to do with legal services. And so ultimately that company was very restrictive about how we could advertise and market online. So I was messing around with online marketing, trying to figure some stuff out, right? And so one of the things I actually did is I actually created a Google local business listing. I created a Google Business Center listing, which is what I think it was called back in the day, right? And so I set that up, right? Free listing on Google, right? And I threw it out there and didn't really know anything about SEO, didn't know anything about like search engine optimization. I just knew I probably might get some leads. Well, I kid you not, like years later, almost 10 years later, we're still getting like 1 or 2 phone calls from that listing a month. And I never did anything to SEO optimize it, right? So we started to do that for our team. They started to see success. I started getting started about local SEO. And then all of a sudden we got referred into some customers, right? They came to us and we landed a carpet cleaning client to get started. And that's how I started my local agency. And I'm very proud that as of today, this client is still an active client to this day after all these years. And they've been paying me a nice 4-figure income every single month for the last year. So if you're thinking, if like maybe this is your first session today, you're watching this as an academy member, as a part of this membership program, right? And you're like, wow, like that's tens of thousands of dollars, right? So I'm really blessed. And so I learned that whole email script that I'm giving you, that telephone script, I learned that in the network marketing industry, right? I'd call up some friends. Like, hey, I got a great, I wanted to ask you a quick question. Who do you know that wants to make some extra money, right? So, and then got better at it, right? So I've had my failures, and but we've had more successes than failures. And here's my why, right? There's my beautiful wife, Julie, from the beautiful country of France. My elder daughter, Ananda, who is like just unbelievably generous and talented and funny. Like she wants to go on America's Got Talent and be a comedian, right? So she's super excited about that. And then I got my feisty little one, Shanti. She is definitely like so stubborn. You wouldn't even believe it. We argued for 20 minutes the other night to get her to brush her teeth, right? So let's talk a little bit about the curriculum of today, and then I'm going to come back to some of that email training, right? So this is the first session, but I want to outline some things we're going to be covering over the Local Business Rockstar Academy over the coming months. So one of the things that we're going to do is create a system of auditing and analysis. One of the big hiccups that I find that a lot of businesses have, or agencies have, or SEO experts, freelancers have, is, they have a hard time closing clients because they don't take people through what I would consider a better process. One of which is by doing some auditing analysis. And so here's the challenge that you have, is that sometimes you might close clients a little bit too quickly without going into an audit and analysis process, right? So we're going to talk about that in much more detail. Of course, we're going to talk about on-site optimization Yes, we're going to get into offsite optimization with backlinking and citations and signals and things like that. You can't have a successful business if you're not building reviews and getting a better reputation online. We're also going to show you how to create some awesome social signals, right? I'm not going to go into a whole bunch of like how to be a social media manager, right? I'm talking more about how do you help augment their social media efforts and create social signals that tell Google that you're a successful, popular business, right? Evidently, I copied reviews and reputation twice. So I guess that must be twice as important. And it really probably is. We're also going to discuss how to use the power of the media. All right. Some of you guys might even have joined the program because you want an opportunity to be on the Huffington Post. Right. So there's definite power of media in terms of establishing credibility and authority for your business. We talked about bonus modules with paid traffic stuff. So that's not going to be like a super duper detailed thing. This is very local SEO centric, right? For those of you participating. But I'll show you why later on in these paid traffic modules, you're going to want to have some education in AdWords, Facebook advertising, etc. We're also going to show you some ways for content creation so that one, you can implement it into your own business to attract clients and potentially either teach it or offer it as a service to your other clients. We're going to talk about video marketing. We're also going to be doing some troubleshooting. So if you are watching this live, one of our beta members had an issue, very experienced marketer. He's been a local SEO expert and has taken a lot of other local SEO training and had been having a stumbling block for 2 years with a listing that she had. And so on one of our sessions, we troubleshot it and we applied the fix. And the one little fix that I recommended that she make fixed her problem she couldn't fix in 2 years in just under a week. So we're going to talk about how do you troubleshoot problematic clients. I'm hoping, guys, if you're looking at this from a live perspective, that you have some stuff in mind so we can actually troubleshoot some of your stuff, okay? Because that'll make better training for all the students watching this in 2016 and beyond. We've already hit a little bit on client acquisition. I hope just that little bit gets you guys a little bit excited, right? And we're going to talk about some more automated lead gen strategies, right? So putting together some email opt-in mini funnels, right? We're going to get into like some email marketing, some mini funnels stuff as well. Obviously, hopefully you're getting a good feel that we're going to show you how to sell, close, and manage client expectations, right? Because that's, maintaining that client relationship is going to create ongoing passive recurring revenue for you, right? So part of that is developing the relationship over time. So they want to stay with you because it's always, always, always easier to keep an existing client and upsell them or continue with them than it is to get a new client. And then, of course, we're going to show you some of the best tools, resources, and systems for you guys to go ahead and implement everything you need to go on and crush it. All right. So this whole curriculum was developed based on your needs and the needs of the members, right? We're going to be sending out some surveys to you to tell us what you have specific needs or challenges with so that we can try to customize this process as best we can for you, which will allow for a better product for all the people who consume this as a membership program in 2016. So let me share, and before I hit my expectations of you, let me give you more, right? Because I have expectations of what I want you as a member of this program to get. But before I do, let me go back to emailing cold contacts, okay? So how would you go about getting cold contacts? This could be something to the effect of business cards, right? This could be like looking up some members at the Chamber of Commerce. This could be getting some email addresses for some businesses that you would want to target that submit and post their information on line on their website, okay? So this is a very, very, very effective strategy to get people to want to engage with you. And I don't want it that big. Well, let's just go ahead. And make it bigger. And I can see that it's blurry, guys, so let me fix that right now. And let me know if that fixes the blur.
I think it looks good.
It doesn't look good as an attendee. I can see it on the screen. It looks really blurry. So let's stop sharing. Oh, Michael says it's clear. So maybe it's just my internet connection. Okay, cool. You can read it, but it says it's still a little bit blurry, but it should not be blurry. It should be really nice and crystal clear. So this is really irritating me. And let's just, and by the way, if you're watching this live, you can always hit the reconnect button at the bottom of your screen if you lose my audio. There we go. Excellent. So if it gets blurry, guys, or you kind of lose bandwidth, hit the blue reconnect button at the bottom of your screen. If you're watching this in the replay, you're watching this inside the members area, and you don't have to worry about it. Okay, so let's go back up. This is the cold, an email to a cold contact. Some of you don't have, maybe they're an acquaintance. Maybe you met somewhere, but you don't really know them. Maybe this is something that you're just going to go collect a random email address and just reach out, right? So the subject title is do you still need help? Hey, John, just wanted to ask you if you still needed any help with your marketing. That's it, right? You might want to just put in here, thanks, signature, right? And just put like your name, right? That's it. Now, why would I do that? Type in the chat box. Why would I send that email? What's the psychology behind it? So one, I'm putting in the subject title. So we must have some kind of prior relationship or dialogue, right? It's a personal email. Maybe they don't recognize it. And they're like, well, I don't know. What do I need help with? Right? And just want to ask if you still needed any help with your marketing, right? And they'll probably go back to their brain and be like, oh my God, who do I know this person? Should I know this person? How do I know this person? Right? Maria is exactly right. Piques their interest, right? So thanks, right? Hopefully they'll reply, right? And they will reply if you do this with enough people, because they're going to ask you, well, maybe, how do I know you? Right? That, and then guys, I can't tell you how to do everything in every situation, right? This is a part of being an entrepreneur, is you're going to have to learn on the fly, right? But if they say, how do I know you? You just honestly say, well, to be honest, we don't, but I'd like to, right? My company specializes in helping clients attract new business. And hopefully by the fact that I've gotten you to engage with me in this conversation, you'll respect the opportunity for me to try to communicate how I can help you grow your business, right? Now, you can test this as an optional thing, right? Depending on your ability and experience, right? So I might get rid of this and put in and go down from here. Need help with any of your marketing? Let me know if something special is happening right now. I'm offering a huge discount on my services for just one lucky business. Please reply if you're curious, and I'll send you the details. Thanks. Right? So you're absolutely right. Curiosity. Okay. So you can have all of this together, right? As one, you can leave it just here. It's whatever you're comfortable with. Because some of you guys, I can hear you thinking, well, I wouldn't want to just leave that open of an email without explaining more. Like we feel so compelled sometimes to try to like satisfy people's curiosity. And it's the worst thing that you can do. But this is going to hopefully pique their interest even more. Right? Well, God, of course I want a discount. And it's just for one business. Right? So could you even do this with an existing contact that you have? Yes, you could. This would work on warm contacts as well. I just think the other conversation is much more personal, right? So now hopefully they reply, right? So they reply, again, you don't even have to address their question. You can just send the email back. Hey, John, thanks for replying. I'll keep this short. I've been running my local marketing business, XYZ Rockstar Services, for quite some time and believe in the power of mentorship and coaching. Even Tiger Woods has a coach, right? So I've retained the services of a private marketing coach. He's successfully trained thousands of entrepreneurs over the past decade. However, he's thrown a big challenge at me already. In order for him to work with me, I'm required to find a new case study client in the next 72 hours. So again, this is a cold contact. You could throw in the 72 hours things on a warm contact, but I think it comes across too salesy for a friendship that you have, right? So here's where I'm required to find a new case study client in the next 72 hours. So that's going to mean like you're going to make fast action. They better move quick, right? So they don't procrastinate. He's going to make sure that everything he teaches gets implemented and applied to this case study client. I have to document the process during this coaching and present my work to him on our regular meetings. In essence, for me to continue to mentor me, I'm going to need to apply everything he knows to this case study client, ensure that he helps me to create some fantastic success. Of course, it benefits me as I'll be able to showcase this client to all of our other clients and future prospects as well. So here's my question. Now I am going to ask him, right? Because we don't have that relationship. So, hey, would you like to be the case study client? Right? If not, I totally understand. We've just met. So you're not some pushy sales guy out of the blue. You're not like, put a countdown timer in it. Right? You're just saying, hey, we've just met. Maybe I'm being too aggressive. Right? Everything, guys, when I talk about other training stuff, everything I relate to is relationship based and sex. Right? Because everybody will get those analogies. So if not, I totally understand we just met, but perhaps you can introduce me to one of your colleagues or friends who owns a business and really wants to grow their business in 2016. I mean, like Rockstar growth. So in their minds, they're going to think like, what is Rockstar growth for them? Right? Not because instead of saying, I mean, like, $10,000 a month, you send that out to like a really successful personal injury attorney and they're laughing at you, right? So you have to leave it, I mean, like Rockstar growth, so it leaves it to their imagination. Who else do you know in the attorney niche, the cosmetic surgery niche, the roofing industry, the home services industry? Any introductions or referrals that you send to me are greatly appreciated. But to be very transparent, there will be a cost to participate, of course. But it will be a fraction of the new revenue and ROI that will come as a result of this process. And it's going to be significantly discounted as I'm only looking to cover my costs as I'm really doing this to satisfy my coach's requirements. So please know that I'm only doing this for one business right now so we can focus all of our efforts on their success during this training. I can't afford to do this for everyone, right? So would you like to chat further about this opportunity? If not, who do you know in the lawyer niche? Thanks so much and hope we can chat. If you have any questions or call. By the way, I'm sending this out to this company, and these are all direct competitors in their space, right? and other lawyers in San Diego, California right now. So I hope you'll reply right away to take advantage of this opportunity. All right, gang. Type in the chat box your thoughts about what you think as far as this little kind of engagement sequence for cold prospects. Let me know if you love it, hate it, like it, think it sucks, but it works. Now, here's another thing you could do, right? Again, I'm trying to get you guys to take fast action to go get a new client right away. Do you have to be this aggressive and try to take them from the first email straight into a pitch email? You may say something like, hey, thanks, I'll reply, keep it short, right? Do some information here and say, hey, I've got a little free report on how SEO can benefit your business. Because some of you guys might be watching or reading this and thinking to yourselves, well, I got some great content that I can train. But if you're brand new and you don't have those assets in place, then you might have to be a little bit more direct, right? So cool. Positive feedback. Michael says, I like it. Daryl says, I love it. Brett Stave says, good. So I'm glad you guys are all digging it. Now, here's what's cool. Kim, you didn't even know I had done this, right? But Kim was talking about, well, maybe I would use this in like some advertising places, right? Like you talked about, Kim, Facebook, right?
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? What if we did run an ad, right? So let me stop, switch over to the new one. And let's make this bigger. Advertisement, right? Wanted case study client. Would you like to be our next business success story? And let me wait for this to resize on your screen to make sure you guys are all good. It's clear. So would you like to be our next business success story? Hey, I'm the founder of XYZ Company, a local SEO agency, a pay-per-click agency, right? Whatever, because again, this is all templated for you guys to customize for your own personal situations, your own business ecosystem, right? So this doesn't just have to be for local SEO, a digital marketing agency that is committed to helping local biz owners to grow their revenues quickly and have the freedom to enjoy their new growth. I'm a big believer in the power, right? You guys get where this is going, right? So I'm not going to read through this again, right? And again, you can customize this 72 hours, 48 hours, right? Again, this is an advertisement. And so say in here, we're not allowed to use existing clients because you're telling, even if you don't have any clients and you're brand new, you're not allowed to use existing clients. So it's still true, right? So guys, I'm not going to teach you guys dishonest or unethical things to do in terms of relationships with your clients, right? So you're not allowed to use existing clients. We're going to make sure everything gets implemented, blah, blah, blah. Basically, we're going to ensure that we create fantastic results for just one lucky business owner. Of course, it benefits me. Now there will be a cost participate, of course, but it'll be a fraction of the revenue. It's going to be significantly discounted. I'm only looking to cover my costs to satisfy my coach's requirements. And again, we're only doing this for one business now so we can focus all of our efforts during this training. Can't afford to do this for everyone, right? If you don't have at least, and guys, I just threw in $500. You put this at whatever number that makes sense for your business. So that way you don't get a whole bunch of tire kickers who are hoping that you'll hire you for $100 a month. My strong recommendation to you is that if you're going to be doing local SEO services, meaning you're going to help them to rank in the top local 3-pack, that you don't charge less than $500 a month. Can you charge less than that? Yes. When I first got started, way back in the day, I charged less than that, sad to say, because I just wanted to get some clients to start running with, right? So you can do this. And by the way, do you have to do this only with one client? No, right? You can do this with 1 or 2 or 3 clients, right? Now, depending on your situation, you can create additional value to the business owner. So depending on the resources that you have access to, like for example, I have access to news release services that when we get a new case study client, right? So let's say we get this new case study client, then we're going to do a news release announcing to the world that we have this this new case study coming on board, right? And if they're interested in following the story of this case study, they can visit our website and opt in and get updates about the progress. Okay. So, Kim, let's role play again. She hung up. She's like, I'm out. All right. So, Kim, let's pretend that you're that lawyer, attorney, client again.
Okay.
Let's say that we have the next Tuesday session at 10 a.m. Right. Okay. So we're trying to iron out what we're going to be doing for you. We're going to be doing local SEO. We're going to be doing all this cool stuff. But hey, part of the value, Kim, of you being a case study client is that what we're going to do is we're going to, like I said, we're going to document this process, right? So we're going to go out and publish a news release that's going to generate awareness for your brand, letting you know that you hired our agency to become a case study client. And what we're going to do is we're going to send them to a landing page where if other lawyers wanted to follow your journey, we're going to do maybe anywhere between 1 and 4 blog posts a month, just kind of documenting the results, right? Talking about here's some things that we did and here's the effect that we had, kind of here's what's going on.
Okay.
So, you know, you'll get that additional exposure from our news releases on our website. That's just another big benefit, right?
Okay.
Now, guys, if you're in an industry, right, and you're in a niche, now I could even go back to Kim and say, hey, Kim, who do you think would want to follow? Like, do you have any friends that would want to follow along and watch your journey?
Well, yeah, sure. My competition.
Well, they might, right? But I only want to work with you, Kim, because if you're in this area, I want to respect our relationship and our friendship. I wouldn't want to take on any other clients in your area out of respect for our friendship, right? But
okay, I appreciate that.
But like, look, you go to continuing education events as an attorney, right? In conferences and associations. So don't think in in Ontario. Think about like who do you know who's practicing law in California that you know. Right? Or Florida. I mean, you have to know. And guys, I promise you, if you're everybody who's going to know some other small business owners, maybe they're not even in the same industry, right? But this is your way to say, hey, look, do you want to brag to your friends? Hey, Kim, you want to brag to your friends? You're going to be our case study client and they can watch what happens.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's an interesting spin.
Right? And guess what? Then I just created some new referral leads. They get to watch the story. And guys, once you rank the client and get that client results, you'll get more clients because they watch the before after. Here's the challenge that we have in our business. If you're doing like local search engine stuff or marketing stuff, even if you're a small business owner watching this and you're marketing for yourselves, right? And you're trying to interview an agency that might help you, all you see is the after. People don't typically get to see the before and after, right? And even if they do, it's like, oh, you know, like, oh, well, they had success, but they don't get to follow the journey, and people love stories. So now you get engagement, you get people following along, right? And we're going to get into more details on this later, guys, as far as how to implement this process. But all of that doesn't matter until you start getting into this client acquisition mode. Okay. So again, you can put this barrier to entry as high or as little as you want. So if you don't have $5,000 a month because you work with premium clients, go ahead. But I think $500 a month is enough to get people to keep out the complete tire, broke people out of your world, and people who have a little bit of money that would be willing to spend money with you. And doesn't mean that's what you're going to agree to either. once you get on the phone, it doesn't mean you can't settle on that $1,000 or $1,500 a month, right? This is just the starting point to kind of weed out the tire kickers. All right. So Maria, okay, I can do this. I can do perfect. Right. So guys, type in the chat box, because again, I'm a big believer in creative thinking. Right. I'm not here to baby you. If you're someone that needs to be told every single minute step in how to get things done, you should have a job, because that's what your job should do. I'm your coach, you're an entrepreneur, and I want you to be creative in how you can think of ways to apply what I'm teaching. So type in the chat box, where are some different places that you could run this ad or post this ad?
Hey, Eric.
Yes.
I just wanted to share that like several months ago, one of the successes that I had was I joined a local Facebook group that was for like local based women business owners. And I joined that group, and you know, I contributed to some posts, and you know, contributed to the community. And then I posted not quite this particular offer, like looking for a case study, but I mean, I posted, you know, I was offering like an SEO promotion, and looking to work with some, you know, local based business owners. And I got quite a few leads from that. So that was one strategy. And I'm just kind of thinking of Maria in particular. Maybe there's some type of local women's business groups that you can join, and make some connections that way.
Absolutely. So, you know, and guys, please, you know, I got most of my initial clients by going and networking at chambers of commerce. Right? Are the dollars lower? Yes. Is it if you have literally no experience or you're just trying to get started, you're not going to walk into some big dentist office or some prestigious law firm, and you're not going to close that client, and you're not going to feel comfortable selling because you still haven't like created success for yourself yet, right? But you guys have some great ideas, right? Daryl talks about LinkedIn. I think, Daryl, that is such a good answer that you're the first one to mention that network, right? But you can go join LinkedIn groups, right? Don't go in there and do this immediately. Start by contributing value first. Don't just go join a group and then just say, bam, here's my offer. That's like, you know, joining the gym, and then the first thing you do on the very first day is go hit on all the pretty girls and try to ask them out on dates. And you could be the best looking, buffest dude in the world, but if they think that you're just there to hone in on the honeys, then you're going to turn some people off and get kicked out of the gym, right? So you don't have to share your own content. Go find good stories that you can share and good resources and articles that you can share on Facebook that will demonstrate your expertise, right? So Mark is saying it's too much text for Facebook or PPC, so it'd have to be a follow-up or a blog post after the ad click. Yes, you could do that. Or Mark, what you could do is actually read it as a script and video record it, right? So you could do it that way. So guys, this is limited to, again, I'm just giving you guys the tools. It's up to you to use your own creativity to go actually implement it, right? Business networking here is saying Business Networking International, BNI groups, that's BNI, and Optimist clubs are always looking for guests. Mark says, great idea about the videos. Thank you very much. Daryl, great job, LinkedIn. Craigslist. So I can tell you one of our beta members, Daryl Osborne, I'm not sure if he was going to be able to make it today or not. He's going to be contributing quite a bit to his experience and some things that he's done with everything we've taught him. And he actually landed $1,000 a month client. He didn't use my ad system. This is brand new training. I didn't even reveal this training into the beta group, right? This is new training that I'm sharing with the world, right, to help you get case study clients. But Daryl is just landed $1,000 a month client just using Craigslist, right? He's in no real special ad. He didn't use the case study example. He's just posting job, that he was for hire on Craigslist, and just communicated in a way that he was able to differentiate yourself. So I hope that I've given you guys some excellent ways to go out and get a scholarship, right? And I hope that I type value into the chat box if you believe that I've already created a great session for you today. Type the word value, right? Or type your comments, right? Just share freely. So here's our expectations of you, all right? I'm going to ask that you read 10 pages of a good book every day, of a good personal development book or a good business book. Here's a good one to get started with is The E-Myth by Michael E. Gerber. I'm actually trying to schedule an interview with Michael E. Gerber in January. We're just trying to iron out our busy schedules. So I cannot stress the value of reading some sort of professional development, inspirational, or business book that's going to drive you to succeed, because it's tough to be an entrepreneur, right? Daryl saying, great, I'm stoked. Lots of value so far. Kier says, great ideas. I'm assuming, Brett saying, I'm assuming we need a client by next week. Maria says value. Michael says value. Awesome. Guys, I really appreciate it, right? So again, I'm wanting you to go out and to get case studies and to create examples, right? We need your baseline stats. So we're going to talk about some things that you need to do in order to create the case study, right? And guys, here's the cool part. Even if you can't get a case study client right away, that's okay. The goal is to put you into action. And by the way, this H word is a forbidden word in my home because we don't even want our children to hear this word. But I hate people who just consume content and courses and sit around and don't take action. Right. So everything that I'm trying to do in this whole process, this whole training ecosystem, is to encourage you and do everything I can to influence you with my Jedi mind tricks to take action. Right. Who's excited about Star Wars? I got my tickets for this weekend. Right. So even if you can't land a case study client right away, that's okay. Maybe you need to consume a little bit more content. You need a little bit more help before you're ready to go into that, because they're like, yep, I'm ready to give you money. And you're like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do next. So you don't have to get a case study right away, but I'm going to encourage you to start the process. Go post the ad. Just go take that step and just see what happens. Because it's so much easier to say, great, I'm glad you're excited to be a part of my case study. So we're not going to start until January. We're not going to start until February, right? I didn't expect to get such a big response so quickly. So we're starting all of our stuff in February. We can get started on February 1st and get into more details. How's that sound? Right? So you go out and get the case study clients depending on your situation when you need. But you must implement what you learn and be accountable, right? You must do that throughout this process, right? And even in our membership site, when you're consuming this as a local Business Rockstar Academy program, we are going to have systems in place to help you learn and be accountable. That's why we're going to have business assignments, right? Because I expect 100% success for every one of you, each and every one of you that does the work and takes action over the next few months. So please remember, we got lots to cover over the next few months. Google changes all the time. So you may not get like #1 rankings for personal injury lawyer New York in just 16 weeks. Okay. Remember, Google wants to trust you. So it does take a little bit of time to earn her trust. I'm going to show you how to do some shortcuts that are going to do that. Okay. So from a ranking perspective, right, we're going to teach you evergreen stuff. In future sessions, I'm going to show you example after example after example of clients who we stopped working with years ago that are still ranking in the top results because it's really evergreen stuff that works. And of course, there's always some shades of gray. Okay. So our systems work. So please be patient from a rankings perspective because I want your success stories. We really want your success stories. We want you to have awesome testimonials, videos, audio, written. Okay. I really want you guys to be super successful. And my screen looks blurry. So I'm going to refresh my screen. Nobody's complained about a blurry screen, so it looks good so far. So Q&A, ask any questions that you want about what's upcoming over the next few weeks. Type in the chat box. What questions do you have so far? Daryl's asking if I can explain, and I can explain lots. I just don't know what. Does any of this information apply to national clients as well? Yes, Brett, when we're going to go into, and this is where maybe part of this process, guys and girls, is that we might be able to take some of your clients, if you have their permission, to go in and do certain things. So when I know we're going to cover a specific aspect of the curriculum, like for example, Brett, we're going to specifically talk about, how do you deal with national clients and then balance that out with the local SEO side of things, right? So we are going to get into more detail, and I'm excited to have you on board because we might be able to implement some of the stuff on your business or your clients' businesses based on circumstances. So yes, we will have training and teachings on national level stuff too. Maria is at sea. Daryl's asking, can you explain baseline stats? So yes. So for example, let's say that we go get you a new client. You would want to be able to establish some rough parameters of like where are they currently ranking or not ranking, right? Let's just say their main term is plumbers, San Diego, and they're sitting in the 15th local position, right? So that's a baseline stat. We go and look at their website and we see that they're getting, let's say, 500 visitors to their website a month. So that's a baseline stat, right? You're going to talk to them a little bit maybe about where they're at income wise. We'll talk about how to overcome some of those challenges, because everything I'm going to teach you guys is revolved around ROI, right? I'm not going to teach, you're not even going to talk to clients, honestly. Did you see in any of the stuff that I talked about ranking #1 on Google, in any of that stuff that I showed you? Because that's what everybody else does. You got guys in India and the Philippines that are spamming email saying, we'll rank you on #1. And if you sound like them, you're competing with them and you can't do the same work that they can for the cost that they can do it for. Right. So, so baseline stats. So we're going to cover baseline stats in more detail. Okay. When we get into kind of the audit perspective, right? So, how many leads are they getting a month? How many new sales are they getting a month? How many, what's their bounce rate, right? So we're going to look at all these different metrics. We're going to cover that in an upcoming session to establish baseline stats. And again, if you guys go do this, right, like right away, and you're like, oh my gosh, they're ready to get started. What do I do next, right? Well, if you're a part of the live coaching program, right, then just send me an email and I'll tell you what to do, right? Because that's a part of why I'm keeping this coaching program small, right? And if you are a member watching this in 2016 as a part of the coaching program, that's what we're going to have, support for with Q's and A's and the forums and things like that. All right. So Maria is saying, so I'm going to go get local clients, and I don't have my local SEO site up yet. Yes. If you go look at my website right now in December of 2015, it says we're closed to the public. In a way we are, but part of the reason that I did that was because our site just needs a makeover, and I'm so busy with this that I don't even really care about that. And I'll also share with you, Maria, I've never printed my own business cards in 5 years. And some people would probably be like, dude, you're so unprofessional. And I'm like, I don't care. I have a 6-figure income business that I enjoy, right? So my point is, you don't need a website, right? You can say, and again, Maria, you can be honest and be like, hey, I just started my business. That's why I hired a coach. People will respect you for having hired a coach. So that's part of the reason I did this strategy, because some of you might be rock stars and you don't need this stuff that I'm training you for, the client acquisition stuff, what I taught today, because you may feel like it de-edifies your stature, credibility, or position. I believe that no matter what level you're at, that it still edifies you as being an intelligent business owner by saying, I have access, and this is the truth. You also have access to a network of marketing professionals as a part of this coaching program, right? So you're going to be able to lean on other people's experience, right? I can't sit here and say I've serviced a national home services repair company like maybe Brett's team has, right? But that's a part of this process. So it's not just you, right? You don't want people evaluating you. You want people focused on evaluating what you can offer them for a result in their life. Okay. Maria's asking, let's say I get some local clients and I can do some stuff, but not some other stuff. Can I subcontract that to our agency? That's going to be on a case by case basis, Maria. We're definitely open to doing one of two things. One is helping you directly, or two is directing you to the resources or our subcontractors and vendors that we would use for implementation and taking action so that you can get that done. Okay. And that's all going to be covered. That's going to all be covered in the future anyway. But again, I want you to go hopefully get a new client and can get started to work on them right away. And really the first 30 days, the first 2 to 4 weeks, guys, is going to be you going through a process of kind of getting to know their business, auditing their business, and really, maybe, and I probably shouldn't have said the $1,000 a month example. I'm really kind of like violating my own training, right? Really what you should do is say, hey, and I'll give you a good example. Okay. So we had an existing client that said, do you offer audits of funnels? Can you take a look at our autoresponder sequence and tell us if you could make it better and how much would that cost? They have 35 emails that they want to have looked at. And so most people would have made the mistake of saying, I can charge you $4,000 or whatever it is, right? Instead, I said, look, before I can tell you what I think I should charge you, let's do this. Give me like $300. I'll spend a few hours looking at the emails and go through the sequence. And then I'll give you some recommendations on insights on things that you guys can do to make it better. And if I can't offer you that value, then I don't think I should work on your account and charge you a bunch of money. Does that sound good? They said, yep, got the email today. I said, but I did tell them, I said, if we do that and you like it, then we'll probably charge you somewhere in the neighborhood of about $80 to $100. But I don't even want to per email, but I don't even want to talk about that yet until we analyze your needs, right? So in the training that I'm going to teach you, the first thing you're going to do is take a client through an audit process, and you're going to do it for a one-off fee instead of trying to go straight for their jugular on a recurring revenue basis. Okay. So for example, you could say, I'll audit your business for $597. It's a one-time fee. I'll give you a list of recommendations that you can do to make. You can go off and do it yourself, or you can hire my company and my team of experts to go do the work. Mark is asking, what do we tell our prospects they are paying $500 per month for? So Mark, I kind of hit on that a little bit, right? I would say instead of going for that $500 a month right out of the gate, I would offer to do a $500 audit and go through some stuff that we're going to train you guys on to go look at. I'm also going to show you some really cool software that you can start using for free that will allow you to ethically spy on that will allow you to ethically spy on your visitors or your clients' websites, right? Visitors to your clients' websites. So I'm going to take care of that for you. We're going to look at Google Analytics and some stuff like that. Mark, here's my guarantee in my business. I offer in my business that my guarantee is if you work with us in a search engine perspective, SEO, for 12 months, if we don't get you more money than you invest in our company, Mark, I will work for you for free until you do. So I typically don't offer money back guarantees, right? Because that's a pretty risky scenario for any business owner in the service area industry. If you were selling widgets, that makes more sense because you can give the widget back. In a service, you can't really get that time back. So I don't necessarily offer money back guarantees unless it's a different kind of like a one-time product or purchase. But I am willing to guarantee that if you stick with me a year, you will make more money from our work than you will have invested. And it's like, it's kind of like a dumb bet. Like you're just going to rank, right? Yeah, Maria, that is quite, I made the same guarantee to you guys here, right? If you go through this whole process, do all the training that I teach you and just spill my guts in my brain, right? And you don't go out and get your money back that you invested into this academy, then I will work. And this goes for the people that are like members, right? That next year, if we have 10,000 members and these people can document that they did all the work and did everything, the things that I teach, and I can't make a stinking couple grand back, right? Then I fail as a teacher and I don't deserve anybody's money. And I will work for them for free to go land them a client, right? So if you guys get into a pickle, like let's say you go out and try to get a case study client as a live coaching member, then, I can, see about getting on the phone and talking to them. Because maybe they're like, well, I want to meet your guru guy, right? I want to meet your coach. How do I know this is legit? If you're a live coaching member, I'll get on the phone, right? I'll help you close the client, right? It'd be a great experience, I promise, from a training perspective. So I want to wrap things up. We've hit 90 minutes. I promise to try to keep everything at 90 minutes or less. So I wanted to go over introductions today. I wanted to see if I could get some of you guys to come on and introduce yourself and get to know each other. My thought is we'll probably do an informal hangout, kind of not an official training session, but where we can get everyone together on maybe like a Google Hangout and get to know each other. And you guys can share what your expertise is, because I'm hoping that this isn't just a coaching program, but a mastermind session. And some of you can contribute some incredible value to this process. Like I said, we got some amazing people that are in this community already that can share their wisdom. And maybe some of you guys are gurus in pay-per-click, and Maria or some of the other people that are wanting to get started, they need resources to go to, right? And that's a part of why we're doing this process. So homework assignment, right? Your goal is to go get a new case study client by the next session, right? So you guys we're going on Christmas break, right? My daughter's last day of school is our children's last day of school for the year is today. So you guys get to go on, winter break. We're going to host another introductory session just like this one on January the 5th. If you want to attend, please attend, right? The more, the merrier, so you can review this information again. And then we will probably launch the next class the week after that. We haven't decided on a definitive day and time yet. We are going to be sending you guys out over the holiday a survey where we can get to know you a little bit better, your intentions, the goals that you want to achieve, and try to get a feel for what will work best for the majority of you. There's nothing that we can do to make everybody happy, as much as I'd like to do that and accommodating everybody's schedules, right? But I really want you guys to be on as many of these live sessions as you possibly can to get your questions answered and to give us, live examples on specific scenarios that can help you with your business, right? So whether it's telephone, whether it's through email, right? Or whether it's through posting on Craigslist or Facebook, Let's see. If you're frozen, Brett, hit the refresh, the reconnect button. There you go. Hit the reconnect button. So again, whether, even if you don't get the client, that's okay. But I want you to take the steps to try it, right? Even if it's to go post on Craigslist. And and part of the reason I'm sharing this with you guys is I have our own results. But again, it's not about what I can do. It's about what I can teach you to do. And I'm excited to have you guys go implement this and see what kind of results that we get, because then we can test it and make it even better, right? So when everybody's watching this, years from now, they'll have a proven system that works for the masses. And that's what I'm excited about. So please go take action and try to do everything you can to get a new case study client. Even if you can't work on them right away, get them locked in so that they can get started in January or February of next year. No excuses. Please don't tell me your dog ate your homework. So think about today. What your key takeaway from the course is taking action. And yes, you're going to need to have a system, which is why you're here. Some of you probably have maybe even some better systems than me, but just not in the areas that I'm going to be teaching you. But the number one thing that I want y'all to do is to be fucking different, right? I want Elvis Presley was different, right? He was unique. And the number one thing that I want y'all to have great experience with is being fucking different. So thank you. Thank you very much. Take educated risks, right? Be willing to make mistakes, but most importantly, be yourself throughout this process, because after all, we're just human. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next session. All right. Thank you, Daryl, for the laugh out loud. Kim, thank you for being on today.
Yeah, no problem.
And guys, I'm going to hang out. I'm going to stop the broadcast, but I will hang out on chat if we're still available. And you can always hit me up by replying to the email blast that we're sending out. Kier, thank you. You're welcome. Brett, you're welcome. Maria, thank you. I will have a great holiday. You're welcome. And Mark, I'm not sure what your hiccup was, but we will do what we can to make it better for next time. And I'm looking forward to meeting you guys more and getting you guys in this live session with us. So with that said, have a great holiday, Christmas, New Year's, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah. Go rock it, go crush it. And I'll see you guys on the next session of Local Business Rockstar Academy. Yay! I forgot my effects. All right, cheers.